Hello, beautiful queens. I'm so honored to be here with you today. Whether you're building a business, managing a household, or navigating a season of healing, what you're doing matters because you matter. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked in the mirror and asked, where did I go? Not because of wrinkles or weight, but because somewhere along the way you disappeared. That was me. I was doing all the things: wife, mom, caregiver, business owner, encourager. But inside, I felt like a ghost in my own life. I was numb, I was exhausted, and I was ashamed of how far I drifted from myself. I want you to think about how often you move through your day without really feeling present in your body. How often do you push through, override the signals, or downplay the exhaustion and put your smile on autopilot? We've been taught to show up strong, composed, and productive, but nobody teaches us how to reconnect when we lose ourselves. This isn't just about stress. This is about disconnection. And the longer we stay disconnected, the more our bodies start screaming for us to come home. Healing begins the moment we pause and ask, what is my body trying to say? That question alone can change everything. We don't just wake up one day burnt out, disconnected, and depleted. It happens gradually, subtly, over time, and often without warning. But there are patterns that I see over and over again in the women that I coach. I call these the three silent killers of women's potential, not because they're loud or obvious, but because they've become so normalized that we barely question them anymore. The first one is that trauma lives in the body. You may be functioning, you may even be performing at a high level, but if your body is always tired, always in pain, always anxious or numb, there's a reason. Trauma doesn't just live in your memory, it lives in your muscles, your gut, your immune system, your breath. It lives in your posture, your migraines, and your insomnia. It's not just in your head, it's in your biology. Because trauma disconnects us from our bodies, we learn to distrust our hunger, our intuition, our exhaustion. We shame our symptoms instead of listening to them. And in doing so, we suppress the very voice that's trying to guide us back to healing. We must stop bypassing the body. In my coaching, we use nervous system tools to regulate, trauma-informed nutrition to support your healing, and simple somatic practices to reconnect you with your body safely, gently, and powerfully. Your body holds your story, all of it. The grief, the stress, the trauma, it settles in your nervous system, your gut, your joints. You may not remember the moment you started carrying it, but your body does. And if you've felt inflamed, exhausted, or anxious for years without explanation, this is your body's way of protecting you from what you had never had space to process. Healing this requires both gentleness and science. We start with nervous system regulation, simple daily grounding like 5-5-7 breathing, body scans, or walking meditations. We add in anti-inflammatory nutrition, emotional freedom techniques, and trauma-informed mindset work. This is why my clients don't just lose weight or sleep better. They feel safe for the first time in years. The second lie is staying in survival mode. When you grow up having to be strong, capable, and responsible, when you're praised for being the good girl or the rock, you learn to perform strength while internally struggling. Your survival mode becomes your default. Here's the catch: survival mode feels like achievement. You're praised for your hustle, you're applauded for pushing through, promoted for being the dependable one. But what no one sees is the cost. Your body is bracing, your emotions are buried, you're functioning but not living. I see this especially in high achieving women. They've built successful careers, families, ministries, but they've built them while disassociated from their own needs. And when the cracks start to show, they don't know how to slow down. That's not because they're broken. It's because their nervous system has only known movement as safety. We have to learn a new rhythm. In my coaching, we work to gently downshift your system through breath work, paced rest, grounding, and self permission. We teach your body how to feel safe slowing down. And from that place of safety, that's where your transformation begins. Most high achieving women I know are stuck in a trauma response, but they call it drive. We overachieve to stay safe. We perform to stay seen, and we hustle to stay worthy. We don't realize we're in survival mode because we've been living this way for so long that it feels normal. But if you're waking up tired, pushing through the day on adrenaline, and crashing at night with nothing left for yourself, that's not thriving. That's your nervous system screaming for help. The problem isn't your motivation, it's your wiring. If your body learned that busyness equals safety, then slowing down will feel like a threat. You might find yourself resisting rest, feeling guilty for relaxing, or really struggling to be still. It's not a flaw, it's a trauma imprint. Healing begins by gently teaching your body that rest is safe, that stillness isn't dangerous, and that you don't have to earn your worth by what you produce. Let's walk through a simple nervous system reset. Try this with me. It's called 5-5-7 breathe. You inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and exhale slowly for 7. That softening you feel, that's your body remembering it doesn't have to brace all the time. This step in the healing journey is crucial because until your nervous system feels safe, no strategy, no habit, no mindset shift will fully stick. That's why in my coaching, we always start with safety, not hustle. Now, the third lie is that we were taught that self-care is selfish. Many of us were raised to equate goodness with self-sacrifice. We were taught to serve, to give, to help, but rarely to receive, to pause, or to tend to our own needs without guilt. That narrative becomes a prison. You cancel your rest to help others. You push through illness. You explain your boundaries as if they need justification. But why? Because you've been conditioned to believe that your needs are inconvenient, that your rest is indulgent, and that your no is too much. But self-care isn't selfish. It's how you stay in the game. It's how you model wholeness. It's how you protect your purpose. In my programs, we actively rewrite these patterns. I teach you how to establish boundaries with confidence, how to rest without guilt, and how to honor your limits, not as a weakness, but as wisdom. Because the truth is, when you care for yourself, you lead better, you love deeper, and you live longer. Your legacy doesn't require burnout, it requires belief that you matter too. Let's talk some truth. You were likely taught to earn rest, to apologize for boundaries, to put yourself last and call it love. But self neglect is not love, and burnout is not a badge of honor. The reason you feel guilty taking care of yourself is because your nervous system was conditioned to equate busyness with worth. You're not weak, you were programmed. We change that through daily repatterning. In our work together, we use scripts to practice saying no without guilt. We build safety around rest, and we reframe productivity through the lens of purpose, not pressure. Self-care isn't a spa day. It's saying, I matter too. And when a woman learns to stand in that truth, everything in her life realigns. Now, resilience isn't just a concept, it's a path. My 3-month coaching clients walk this framework step by step. And here's why it matters. You're going to reconnect with your identity because you are not just your roles. Mirror work helps you remember who you are underneath the shoulds. We're going to elevate your wellness by healing your gut, supporting your nervous system. We're going to choose nourishment and not punishment. Some of the tools we use are a foundational supplement stack and a gut health protocol. We're going to strengthen your mindset. We dismantle limiting beliefs with daily journaling, affirmations, and reframing. We use a replacement grid and neural bridging to help change those thoughts. We're going to implement boundaries because boundaries are bridges to freedom. We're going to empower your goals. No more hustle, just aligned, faith-fueled action. We're going to nurture your resilience because you're not failing, you're healing. We're going to cultivate connection because healing doesn't happen alone. Community is vital for your healing. You're going to celebrate your rise and reflect on your growth and anchor your next identity. But your healing has a ripple effect. And when you heal, you lead. When you lead, you activate others. Your healing isn't selfish, it's sacred. You were made to speak, create, rise, and lead. The most powerful movements come from women who once believed they were broken and then remembered who they were. But let's go deeper. Legacy isn't just about what you build for yourself. It's about what you build beyond yourself. It's about breaking the generational patterns that no one else had the tools or capacity to break. It's about choosing to do the internal work that your lineage didn't know how to do and saying the pain stops with me. For some of us, that means healing our relationship with money. For others, it means finding our voice when generations of women before us were silenced. For many, it's reclaiming their health after watching our mothers, our grandmothers, and our aunts sacrifice their well-being for everyone else's needs. But building a legacy business is not just about income. It's about impact. It's about choosing a model that honors your energy, your faith, and your purpose, while showing your children and your community what's possible. It's about letting your business be the vehicle through which your healing creates a ripple of transformation. For me, it meant creating something that my children could see, that my grandchildren could inherit, not just financially, but spiritually. It meant creating a business built on values, service, freedom, and belief. You're not just building a business, you're breaking curses. You're rewriting your family's story. You're creating something that outlives you. You are the legacy. Let's talk about how you can walk this work with me. There's my resilience program, 3-month one-on-one coaching. It's my most intimate coaching experience. There's weekly Zoom sessions, daily voice support, personalized supplement protocol, nervous system and mindset healing. I take just 4 clients per month, and my next cohort begins in July. There is the Reset, my 6-week group coaching. It's focused on gut health, nervous system regulation, and mindset. The program offers 6 weekly group calls. It's a curated curriculum, and it's limited to 8 women per session. There is a VIP upgrade that includes a 50-minute private coaching session with me. There's also my High Performance Reset for the high achiever ready to reset their productivity, their confidence, and their habits. It's a faith-rooted success group without burnout. This is limited to 6 women. There is also a VIP upgrade that includes a one-on-one session with me. Now, I want to share a secret with you, the Made for More Mastermind. This is something I haven't released publicly yet. In fact, you're the very first audience to hear about it. It's been quietly in the works behind the scenes, and I've been saving it for women just like you. Women who are ready to lead at the next level. This is my highest level container. It's for the woman who's ready to build her legacy, writing the book, launching the business, creating powerful content, developing programs, stepping into full visibility, and building something that lasts. This mastermind includes expert mentorship, guest coaching, direct access to the tools, systems, and frameworks that I've personally built and used to grow my brand and coaching business. You'll get insider access to materials I've never shared before. We'll cover personal development, business strategy, visibility, energy alignment, leadership, and the spiritual foundation for a purpose-driven empire. And because this mastermind is so deeply aligned with impact and intimacy, it will not be widely promoted. I'm only inviting women I've already walked with or who I feel a deep energetic alignment with. If you feel a pull towards it, trust that. Send me a message. Let's talk and see if it's the right time. This is more than a mastermind, it's a movement, and I'd be honored to invite you into it. You can also access my Ember to Empire Collective, the free Facebook group. It's for women rising into purpose and power. Search it up on Facebook and request to join. It's where connection meets calling. You can learn more about me and my programs on my website at monicaconnollycoaching.com. Now, I want to go through a short visualization with you. I want you to think about your before. You woke up tired. You silenced your needs. You said yes to everything but yourself. You were successful, but hollow. And now let's talk about the you after coaching. You breathe deeply. You rest without guilt. You say yes only when it's aligned. You look in the mirror and you see her again. Close your eyes with me for a moment and take a slow, intentional breath. Now picture her 6 months from now. She wakes up before the alarm, rested. She puts her feet on the ground and she stretches with ease. She walks to the mirror, looks herself in the eye, and she smiles. Not because everything is perfect, but because she finally knows who she is. She no longer questions her worth. She no longer says yes to things that drain her. She has energy in her body, peace in her home, and clarity in her heart. Her boundaries are solid, her voice strong. Her life reflects the healing she fought for. She's not who she used to be. She's who she always was, uncovered, unburdened, and unstoppable. Let me ask you something. What if that woman is already inside you? What if everything you've walked through has been leading you to this very moment? And what if fear isn't the thing to run from, but the very signal that you're standing at the edge of your breakthrough? You don't need to wait until you feel fearless. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to say yes, scared and shaky. Let fear walk with you. Let courage carry you. Let your belief rise to meet the future you were made for. This isn't just another summit. This is a sacred space. It has been my greatest honor to share it with you. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to respond. I'm in your corner. I'm praying for your breakthrough. And I hope this is just the beginning of what we build together. Let's rise.